What's up, everyone? It's the Ballpark Nomad here at PNC Park, getting ready to head inside to take a ballpark tour. We will be taking the walk-up tour, which is one of their non-game day tours. Let's go check it out. As you can see, PNC Park offers several different types of tours. As I mentioned, we are doing the non-game day walk-up tour. I put a link down below to this page. The tours start outside of PNC Park's left field gate along Federal Street next to the Willie Stargell statue.
Everybody, thanks for being here on the tour today. We're actually going to head to our press box here at PNC Park first, and that's way up at the tippy top level here in this ballpark. So, before we head to the press box, a few details here in the left field bleachers. I told a couple of the guests as they were coming in, PNC Park has been voted the best ballpark in America. You can check me on that. Sorry, San Francisco, it's true. The USA
yes,
Today. The USA Today. Yeah, they get it. The USA Today ranks all 30 Major League Baseball stadiums every year, and they've determined that PNC Park this year is the best ballpark in America. If you come back for a game at PNC Park and you walk up the home plate rotunda, there's a sign in center field that says voted the best ballpark in America. So there's proof, and we like to talk about that. Now, this gentleman said he went to the Forbes Field wall recently. Forbes Field was the Pirates' third ballpark. They played there for 60 years. It's located over by University of Pittsburgh campus in the Oakland neighborhood. And Forbes Field inspired the design of this ballpark a lot. I'll start with all the navy blue here in the bleachers. That was inspired by Forbes Field because, the Pirates, when they started play at Forbes Field, they did not wear the black and gold. They wore the red, white, and navy blue because baseball was America's game, and a lot of the early teams wore some type of those colors. And the owner said, I want the seats to be the same color as the uniforms. White was not very visually appealing. Red would stand out too much, so they picked the navy blue instead. And they've carried that into PNC Park today. Other similarities between PNC Park and Forbes Field. You might notice there's only 2 levels of seats here at PNC Park. The lower bowl and everything above the AHN sign we call the upper bowl. That was another Forbes Field tribute because Forbes Field had 2 levels of seats. Capacity here, 38,700. I think they're having some fun in the bullpen today. Capacity here, 38,700, about the same as Forbes Field. And finally, the big light poles, 3 of them are on the first base side. Those are called toothbrush light poles because the long part of it resembles the long part of your toothbrush. Those were inspired by Forbes Field as well. Forbes Field has since been torn down, but we will see a model of it later on the tour, just so all of the guests who don't remember Forbes can understand what it is. But in the meantime, we're going to go to the press box first on our tour. So I'm going to lead the group. We're going to head.
The first stop on the tour is the PNC press box. There are a total of 120 workstations, but not all of these spaces are always in use. It will depend a lot on who the visiting team is and the size of their media team. For example, a New York or Los Angeles team is going to bring more media members than a smaller market team. As you can see, it also offers one of the best views in the ballpark. Here's a little fun fact. In 1921, the local news affiliate, KDKA, broadcasted the first ever radio broadcast of a Major League Baseball game from Forbes Field. KDKA is still broadcasting today. In fact, their affiliate station, The Fan, is the Pirates' flagship radio station.
Okay, we have everyone in our group. That's great. Feel free as we head through these double doors to glance at our carpet. You'll notice the letters PBC, Pittsburgh Baseball Club. because that's the official name of where we're going next. It's our club level seats. These are some of the nicest seats in PNC Park, and the best part is anyone can buy them. You can walk up to the ticket windows on Friday when the Rangers are in town and say, hey, could I have 4 seats in section 226? And if they're available, they're yours. So come follow me, we're gonna head there next.
After leaving the press box, we went up to the second level and took a walk through the club level seating at PNC Park to check out all the amenities that are offered.
Well, the name Beer Bowers is how the Pirates got their name. It all comes back to him. So, early days of baseball, some players didn't like how they were being treated. They go form their own league. It's called the Players League, and it lasts for 1 season because they couldn't run a business to save their life. And so Louis Bierbauer was one of the players who joined the Players League. He previously played for the Philadelphia Athletics. And Bierbauer, once the Players League disbanded, since the Athletics forgot about him, they didn't write his name down, he goes to the Pittsburgh owner. The team is called the Alleghenies at the time, after the river, and says, I'd like to play for the Pittsburgh team. You're closer to my family. The Pittsburgh owner says, well, Louis. The Philadelphia people find out about this, and they take the case to court. The judge bangs the gavel in favor of the Pittsburgh team and says, the Pittsburgh team, you get to keep Bierbauer. The Philadelphia people are so upset, they start calling the team in Pittsburgh the Pirates. Wow, I'm glad you guys got that. Typically it takes me to say it twice. Because they pirated or stole the player Bierbauer. The owner loved the name so much, he said, forget the Alleghenies, we're now going to be called the Pirates. And they've been called the Pirates ever since. Have you heard of the movie The Sandlot?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Finn, the joke here at PNC Park is the Sandlot movie might have been inspired by this painting's play, the most famous play in team history. So, Game 7 of the 1960 World Series, the Pirates are taking on the New York Yankees at Forbes Field. And in the bottom of the 9th inning, score is tied at 9. Number 9 for the Pirates, Bill Mazeroski, comes to the plate. He hits a solo home run to win the World Series for the Pirates. Now, Finn, here's where the plot of the movie comes in. The ball, Mazeroski's holding it in this painting up here, The ball he used to hit the home run was caught by a kid about your age. He was coming home from school. The game is being played during the day, and he's walking home from school. He catches the ball. He doesn't know it's the famed Mazeroski ball until somebody taps him on the shoulder and says, "I'm taking you inside the clubhouse. Bill's going to sign the ball for you." And he did. The next spring, the kid and some of his friends play Little League. "We need a ball. We need a ball." Take the Mazeroski ball from the shelf, and within 10 minutes, they lose it. It's just like the movie.
Just like it.
It's just like the movie. He's shaking his head because he knows in the movie the famous ball is of Babe Ruth, which is true. But the reason the Hollywood producers chose Babe Ruth is because nobody outside of Pittsburgh, well, maybe, I might retract that statement. Not a lot of people know who Bill Mazeroski is. Babe Ruth, of course, more famous. So that's why they chose Ruth for the movie. But the story behind the ball here is true. It is lost to this day. So if you're walking by Forbes Field, by the University of Pittsburgh, and you see a white object with red lines inside of it, you might have a lot of money on your hands. And we don't know how much because the ball hasn't been found, which is kind of crazy when you walk. Really sweet place to watch a game, huh?
Yeah.
There you go. So I brought you inside, and I did not want to make a pun, but I did one anyway. We're in right now 2 of our 7 World Series suites here at PNC Park. 7 suites because the Pirates have been to the World Series 7 times. 1-5, including both that are in this small room, and lost 2. There you go, Finn. So 1909. The Pirates won their first World Series against the Detroit Tigers. This series was known for having 2 of the best players of their time. Go ahead. You think you know who they are, Finn?
What?
Who the 2 players were from 1909? Okay.
Honus Wagner and Ty Cobb, right?
Yeah. So in 1909, Detroit lost the World Series to the Pirates. The big player v. player matchup of the time, Honus Wagner for the Pirates against Ty Cobb for the Detroit Tigers. 2 of the best players of their era. And what's even crazier, when the Baseball Hall of Fame opened in 1936, they, along with Babe Ruth, were part of the inaugural class. So they went from being rivals in 1909. All right, so I had to swipe my badge to get you in here. Normally, this is the room season ticket holders we use when they come into a ballpark. But since we tour guides are lucky, we get permission to come in here sometimes. Now, since this gentleman brought up Bob Prince earlier, I'm going to start, sir, with you.
Okay.
There is a Bob Prince worn jacket inside of our office. And all of those patches are famous sayings of his. And so they've kept it and they've stored it inside this room. We jokingly call it the museum because it has so much Pirates history. Everything from the Forbes Field jerseys worn by Bill Mazeroski to bases from the first game ever here at PNC Park. All of this is stored in the museum. You can feel free to take a look around for a few minutes, whatever floats your boat. There's a big Ruth bat in here that he used in his last few home runs here at Forbes Field, and tons of Pirates members.
You're good, man.
Feel free to take a look at this. So there might be a plaque here. I don't know how old this glove this, but if I had to guess, this is from maybe the 1940s or 1950s, just because the gloves of today have much more webbing and protection. So it's worn by a pitcher with a hanging smile. I don't know if they have a historian who does that, but they do have, if some of the Steens jersey in this locker, somebody would authenticate that like they would every artifact in the baseball game. How would they do that? No.
What was Babe Ruth's last home run?
Good point. So, Babe Ruth is depicted in this museum here. He hit his last 3 home runs at Forbes Field. He was playing for the Boston Braves at the time after the Yankees traded him, and he hit his last 3 home runs.
After checking out all of the suites, we headed down to the lower level of the ballpark to check out the Pirates' batting cages.
For around $379 a month. Or current Chevy owners can get $77.50 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
There's a reason professional leaders don't get invited to backyard barbecues. Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
All right, everybody. So, welcome to the Pirates batting cages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We won't say it's gone, but there's another phrase they use to commemorate all that. All right, I think we have everybody in our group. So, I brought you guys inside the visitors' dugout because this is where the visiting team will play, not play, but use during their games here. Yankees here, they're here. This is what down there in one snap. Chicago Cubs here. Say this is Anthony Swanson. And the Rangers come here this weekend. He's not in. No, they don't have expenses. They can sit wherever they want. It's not. But when you're in the dugout,
The visitor dugout was the last stop on the tour. One nice thing about this tour was they gave you a lanyard that you could take home as a memento from your tour at PNC Park. To wrap up, the walk-up tour was $25, lasted about 90 minutes, and was definitely worth the price. Got a lot of information and a great history on the team and the ballpark.